Hondo, and this is my review of the Spaceman Redstone. The signal chain for this is going to be up on the screen right now, and if you're interested in grabbing any of the gear in that list, there will be affiliate links down in the description below. Make sure to check those out because they help out the channel a ton. The controls for this pedal are dead simple. Up on the left hand side you have the volume control for the entire pedal, and there's a lot of volume on tap here, by the way. The gain knob controls how much drive that you'll get, and then beneath that you have a really nice 3-band EQ that I'll talk about a little bit later. And then down at the bottom you have one of those nice clickless foot switches, which is really slick. I really like these on pedals. And then on the left hand side of the pedal it actually says that it is 9V, but this pedal also accepts 12V, and I'll talk about that a little bit later as well. Before I dive into the impressions, I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Mateo for helping me bring that intro track to life. I definitely would have sucked without him. If you dug his playing, you can actually hire him over on soundbetter.com, and I'll leave a link in the description for you to go check him out. And if you do that, I would greatly appreciate it. So this pedal actually kind of surprised me. I've played a lot of pedals that were labeled as preamps, but this one is the first one that kind of behaves the way that I think studio preamps act. The EQ on this, first of all, is super broad and it's very, very smooth. And this isn't the type of EQ that I would use for like room correction or anything. This is more like tone shaping, in my opinion. Especially the mids and the lows. The mids give you extra mid-range that never sounds honky and never sounds nasal, but will help your bass cut through the mix a little bit better. And then on the lows knob, that gives your bass more weight, kind of, but it never sounds like the bass gets boomy. So wherever they set these EQ points and the resonance, this good job, Spaceman, this sounds great. And then on the drive side, it's very different from a lot of other pedals that I played because it sounds more like what I would call saturation than like a fuzz or distortion or overdrive. It's kind of similar to the sound that you would get if you like push a preamp really hard in the studio. And like a preamp in the studio, if you push it beyond a certain point, it kind of starts to get a little bit like splatty sounding, and it starts to eat into your low end. And that's not a sound that I typically like going for. So you'll notice in the Soundclips I didn't go higher than about 3 o'clock because that's where I found that kind of like turning point happen with the gain. Now, I should also say that 3 o'clock is where it happened running the pedal at 12 volts. You can also run this at 9 volts. And I believe The last time that I tried doing that, the gain was set a little bit lower because you don't have as much headroom, but it still hit that kind of like sputtery, splatty kind of distortion sound. So if you want to have as much headroom as possible, I definitely recommend running this at 12 volts. So one thing that I think this pedal would really excel at that I can't show you is pushing the front end of a tube amp. If you have a tube amp and you're looking for something to really kind of like smash the front end of it, to really kind of push your amp to the limit, this is definitely something that I would recommend, because this has a ton of volume on tap, so you can really push your amp pretty hard. I don't have a tube amp that I have access to right now to test that out, unfortunately, but I will soon, and as soon as I do that, I will make sure to make another video, a follow-up video to this, to show you what this sounds like pushing into an amp. But aside from that, this thing just sounds awesome for making sounds fatter. Basses that might not necessarily be super warm, it does a good job of warming them up. So I paired this up with my Dingwall NG3, which is not the warmest bass in the world. And also this thing is really good at taking other drives. So I ran a Jam Pedals Rattler into this, and it sounds, what it does to the drive is kind of cool, so I'll put that in the sound clip too. I like both of these, but let me know what you think down in the comments. And while you're down there, don't forget to check out the links to the Discord. It would be awesome for you to come hang out with us over there. And also there is a link for this super cool clean tone shirt from Pedal Playhouse. So if you dig this shirt, definitely go give that link a click and grab yourself one. But that is it. Until next time, I hope you're staying happy and staying healthy, and take it easy.
Thank you.